Rip King, not the Rip King, right? We're good. We're good. Is that sriracha sauce? No. That is habanero. We got that bad boy right there. We got that one. We got this one we tried a little bit earlier as well. Carolina Reaper over there. Then we've also got Devil's Breath, or sorry, Dragon's Breath over there. Nice and easy. Peri Peri over there, and the good stuff. Bang! Carolina Reaper is painful. Carolina Reaper is where I kind of fucking hang out. I'm not gonna lie to you. Raichi!
Okay, I'll ask the first question for you. Okay,
yeah.
This one comes in from Jet. I do really like this question. If you could play a video game for the first time again, what would you choose and why?
Oh. I'm guessing maybe like Last of Us. Probably Last of Us is one of the better ones in my opinion. A great single player game and kind of like a great story. But I suppose once you've done it, you kind of done it, right? Honey Pop, don't lie. Your answer, wow. All right, smash another one. Good answer. Last of Us is especially one of the correct answers. Is a good one, Jet. Like, tell me I'm wrong. He's answering. Oh.
It was a good question, Jet.
Yeah,
it was a really good question.
Solid fucking question, by the way.
Okay. Is there a particular moment in your life that sparked your passion for gaming and streaming?
Around high school, I met like a whole bunch of friends, and they were kind of like into LANs and things like that. Yeah, this one's starting to kick now. They were into LANs and shit like that. And, you know, just kind of when the more I was kind of hanging out there and seeing these amazing computers and stuff like that, it's just kind of when I started getting into games and things like that. So that would be the games. In terms of streaming, I never really kind of wanted to become a streamer. I was just kind of doing it as like a learning experience for a buddy. But yeah, just the more I went, the more I streamed, the more I kind of like met like cool people, like, you know, like Rachie and Stoner and like, you know, Andy, and the list goes on, you know, Casey, everybody. So yeah, unfortunately, when it comes to the streaming part of things, I haven't necessarily ever seen myself kind of going, oh, that's gonna be my passion. So it's still kind of just a learning experience at this point. Oh, who asked that one?
That was a Rachie question.
Ah.
Either Rachie or myself. And Jet. Jet did good.
Oh my god.
So, of the people that are currently in your chat, or that have been in your chat today in the last, 10 and a half, 11 hours?
Yeah.
Who would you snog, who would you marry, and who would you avoid?
Oh, you better pick carefully.
I would snog Kempy. I would marry Joe Biden. And I would avoid Stream Elements.
No, that's cheating.
I mean, smart choices. Very smart choices.
Very diplomatic there, Dark.
I was fucking born for this. Carolina Reaper time. What's the next question?
Another question. Do you choose uncontrollable farting over uncontrollable hiccuping?
Oh no, I'll fart. I'll rather fart. Farting is funnier than like hiccuping the whole time. That shit's annoying. Oh
What's
my
the
God.
best Wi-Fi name you've seen?
Oh, too fly for a Wi-Fi.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
There's problems bring. I'm gonna let you know that right now. Me.
Who is the biggest drama queen in your life?
Oh.
You be careful when you answer this one. You be
easy.
careful.
Without a doubt, Rochandle Jones. The consequences may lie where they lie.
Who would you elect president of the internet if it was solely up to you?
Andy. Easy, Andy. Champion would make sure that shit is running efficiently. Looks spicy. It fucking is, dude. Because I'm also mixing them together. It's part of the fucking problem. Would I survive a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah. How and why?
Yeah, it's look more like realistically it'll be no, but I'll say yes. Because I'll find a bunker somewhere to go and fucking hide it at and play some games until it's over.
Agreed.
Play 7 days today, you got a plan. I do. Oh!
What is your biggest fear?
I suppose this is kind of like subconsciously a big fear that everybody has. It's either going to be dying alone or dying knowing that you haven't necessarily accomplished what you could have.
Now, what is your strangest irrational fear?
Public speaking, I guess. That would be one. Spiders is a good one. Yogi, spiders is an excellent one. You know what?
What the
That-
strip waffle? Strip waffle.
I will say this though, and I think it's kind of one of those things that I've always really thought about as a kid. If the world had stopped spinning and you just kind of start floating off of the planet, that is kind of one of those irrational fears that I'm like, oh my god. But you know, how's that gonna happen?
Okay, if you had unlimited resources and time, what dream or passion project would you embark on?
Building a floating self-sustainable city that can survive tsunamis and all kinds of stuff. That shit interests me. Or building a space colony. I'd like to be able to build something that like hasn't been done before, and secondly like is kind of a little bit out there, so to say.
What would your drag queen name be? And no, it can't be BirthDayOneSon. I have already named you that. You have to pick your own.
Luscious Lucy. Hot Lips Lucy.
Okay.
I mean Hot Lips Lucy. Fire Lips at the moment.
What would your warning label say?
What do my warning labels say?
Yeah.
Scares easily and leaves anxiety poops, I guess. Shit. It's rough house here. I'm not gonna lie to you. The questions are not too bad. Fucking hot sauce is the bad part.
What's something you've learned about yourself in the past year that has surprised you?
I suppose it's gonna have to be something along the lines of fighting with Rachie and knowing that like having a serious fight / discussion with someone doesn't necessarily mean that you no longer have to speak to that person once you're done with the conversation.
Very proud of you right now.
Oh, once you climb inside the fucking microphone.
So, in saying that, what role do your closest relationships play in your happiness and success?
Keeping me grounded, I suppose, is one way. So, firstly, that my head doesn't get too big for. That sounds dirty. But my head doesn't get too big for my shoulders, or that I take on criticism too badly.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say that goes to the same champion as well.
So
I
then
ground
how do
you,
you
yeah.
maintain meaningful connections, not just with Rachie, but with people in your life?
Unfortunately, I
with
will be
such
honest
a
with
busy
you.
schedule.
That is complicated because at this point in time, I'm very terrible at that. Because my schedule's getting worse and worse by the day. So I'm still working on it.
How do you stay motivated and driven even when facing challenges and setbacks?
Look, I think unfortunately, and thanks to ADHD, my brain is wired very differently. I like challenges, especially one that can take some time to kind of, take some time to figure out and kind of get to the end of. So I will say, challenges kind of motivate me and drive me. The harder the challenge, knowing that there is an end in sight and figuring out a way to firstly figure it out and still assist anybody else that would like to learn how to do that, that I think is going to be my biggest motivation.
How do you define your identity outside of your role as a streamer or a gamer?
I don't necessarily have too much of an identity outside of work, streaming, or gaming. So I think that's definitely kind of like there's room for growth there. I will definitely say that.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Chewing noises is one of my pet peeves. I don't know why. It drives me fucking mad.
I'm going to ask a question that's not on our list, thanks to Kempy. So shout out to Kempy. Whoop, whoop.
All right.
I think it is on our list, actually. What is your, in the spirit of music, what is your go-to karaoke song?
I don't do karaoke. Like fucking ever.
Excuse me, you sing in stream all the time.
I don't stream. I don't stream.
I'm sorry. You don't. You sing outside of stream.
Imagine streaming, right?
He sings.
Hold me now.
Jets on
Hold
it.
me now.
If Loki could speak, what would his voice sound like?
Arnold. I'll be back. Without
You
a doubt.
reckon?
Oh yeah. He's
You
a
reckon
he's a
you
mini
would-
tank. Or
You don't think he would be a Zeph?
no, I don't think he'd be Zeph, but Game of Thrones, like the short guy.
Yes.
No one.
Okay, I have a question for the stream. So this one's not for you. This one is for everybody in stream. So the question is to everyone, what is Dark One's catchphrase?
Not the 12 inches. Jesus.
There is so many answers to this.
I know, there is so many answers.
Love your face. No.
Yes, yes,
No.
yes.
Legendary
Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda. I don't say listen, Linda. That's bullshit. I don't say that.
Not like this, guys. Yes. Bet. I'm putting my 2 cents in. Bet.
Rachel's about to catch his hands. Gets said a lot.
Rachel's right.
No,
Rachel's right. There is
that
so
never
many
gets said.
clips about Rachel's right.
That never gets said. That's a lie. That's
Playing
amazing.
tiddlywinks with your heart.
That's not. I don't say that.
Yes,
That is lies.
We're always playing tiddlywinks with your
Accusations.
heart.
Don't listen to the
Legend
background.
amongst
There's a lot of
the
lies being
immortals.
said about me at the moment.
No,
Appreciate you, champion.
Yes.
Wow. I see how it is.
Imagine.
I think imagine.
Yeah.
What about Bluxon?
No. He says it too. You started it. He says it.
Blackson means bastard. That's not a catchphrase.
You still say it a lot.
But if you say it a lot, it can become a catchphrase.
What?
Bad jokes or knock jokes?
Bad jokes.
No, dad jokes, not
Oh,
bad
dad
jokes. Dad jokes.
Oh, they're the
God.
same thing. They're the same fucking thing. Knock, knock. Who's there? Who? Who? Oh my god, I thought you were an owl. It's basically a fucking dad joke. It's the same thing. God. It's just, next question. We're moving on.
What kind of impact do you hope to have on your community or the world through your actions on this platform?
Okay. Look, at the end of the day, I think, and I kind of mentioned this quite a bit in the stream as well. At the end of the day, there's too much hate and negativity kind of running around. And, you know, like people kind of running other people down to make themselves feel better. I want to try and build a space where we can kind of love on each other, right? Instead of just like knocking each other and things like that. And especially like coming into a stream and say, for instance, like, you know, and this is also the thing. Folks may have the best intention when they're making a joke, but first get to know the person. Make sure that they understand, you know, where you're coming from with that joke and things like that. So I want to be able to build like a safe space where folks feel like they're free to be themselves and not have to like worry about being picked on and things like that. That, if I'm able to make any type of difference, that would be the one. Oh, speak to me.
If your phone, which is part 1, or browser history, part 2, could talk, what's the most embarrassing thing it would reveal about you?
Probably that I use Google as a spell check.
No, that's not embarrassing. I do that too. Dyslexia at its finest.
Is that not what we all do? Do we not all do that?
I'm glad
Just
we're
let
all in the
everyone
same boat here.
correct me. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
Tokyo,
Yes.
because that's on my bucket list. I've been to many
Thanks,
other
that's
places,
fair.
but Tokyo is definitely one of them that I want to be in, right?
What's something that you wish more people knew or understood about you?
Well, I think this is kind of one of the things that most people are kind of like be able to resonate with in terms of Twitch and like gaming and stuff like that. You can still have meaningful friendships and relationships online with, you know, and be able to get like, you know, meet real people and stuff like that. I think it's a lot of people that have this misconception where like, oh, you're a gamer, you're kind of going to sit in your room all day, you're not going to meet anyone. I'm meeting a fucking ton of people. I'm going to let you know this right now.
Yogi has a question, more of a debate. Pancakes or waffles? Because Yogi believes that waffles are just pancakes with abs. My mum just laughed from the other end of the house.
I would say waffles. Because they got little pockets and shit that you can kind of like stash like your ice cream and shit in there. I like that. I like that.
Has there been a pivotal moment in your life that changed your perspective or direction?
Moving back to, I think one of the big ones was moving back to South Africa from Australia. And kind of like that, the hopes of like, oh, you know, things are going to be better and moving back, not counting puberty. Yep, that's going to be one. Moving back thinking like, oh, things are going to be better, but then only getting there and realizing like, all right, it's actually not going to be better. It's like you'll leave like a place for a long time, right? And then you kind of like look back at that place and you're like, oh no, things will be better if I go back there now. Then the moment you get back there, you realize firstly, everyone's like pretty much forgotten you. Everything that you knew is kind of gone and changed. And you're kind of starting from scratch, which kind of defeats the point of the whole thing. So yeah, I think that's one of the big pivotal moments where I've realized instead of kind of looking back in the past and going, right, I want to be back there, I want to have that moment again, just enjoy what you have now in the present.
What is a deal breaker in relationships for you? Friendships or otherwise?
In terms of friendships and stuff like that, I think it's just not being true to yourself, right? If you're gonna like, you know, hang out with me and be like, oh, you know, everything's great and stuff like that, but the moment you kind of like, you know, you go and hang out with someone else and you're like, oh, this is like, Dark's a piece of shit, and like I absolutely hate hanging out with him and stuff like that, I think for me is gonna be the big thing, right? Where I'm just gonna be like, you know, like, don't be fake. If you don't like me, just say it. Like, don't go and talk behind my back type of thing, right? Ooh. In terms of relationships, I think I mean like dating relationships,
yeah,
easy. I mean, cheating is obviously going to be the big thing, and this one's going to be controversial. I'm sorry, kids. That's going to be a thing for me.
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A drummer. Without a doubt, I wanted to be a drummer. And then later on, I started getting an interest in rocket science.
You give me drummer vibes.
Ragey fucking...
I would like him to get a drum kit, and I would like to give everyone a little fun fact. When Dark is mindlessly doing something, he will constantly drum his desk.
Yeah.
Constantly drum his desk. That is Dark's
ADHD.
And he's mindless.
I feel attacked.
I don't know. Insomniacs put in a question.
Yeah.
If you could go back in time to when you were first streaming, what is the best advice you could tell yourself?
Not everyone has your best intentions at heart, right? Don't fall into the traps, and don't fall into kind of like, hey, there's a crowd here. Obviously this must be a good thing. Do your own thing. Stay true to yourself. And as long as you are having fun, other people will be there as well to come and have fun with you, right? The moment you're kind of like following the pack and doing things that you're not comfortable with, so to say, it's just just empty. It's wasted space and wasted time, where you could just be focusing on your stream, you know, what you're doing and things like that. And I think that is kind of one of the biggest things. It took me a long time to learn, and I will say I think Rachie can kind of attest to this same point as well, because I think that's actually how I met Rachie as well. So I will say this, I did meet some amazing people in the process of doing some of those things. But it's just, you know, after a while you realize like there was no benefits to doing any of that stuff. So I think that's the big thing.
Who is your celebrity crush and why?
Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Super hot. Obviously.
Underworld Kate Beckinsale?
Yeah, you know which era I'm talking about.
Yes.
100%.
Oof, yes.
100%.
What TV show or movie do you think is overrated and why?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
I'm joking. I was Rachie would throw hands.
Because you were like full blown into that game for a while.
No,
I was ready to get you then.
Yeah. No, Basilisk. I was trying to start a fight. Take that back now. I'm joking. I don't know. I would probably say Big Bang Theory. I really didn't get into it that much, right?
It
Shots
didn't
fired.
age well.
Yeah, I really. And the thing is, I didn't watch it when it first came out. I watched it like, you know, a good couple of years later, and I was just like, all right, you got a joke here and there, but the rest of it's just like, nah. Also, Yogi said, would you rather have a pet goat for 6 weeks or sleep in a tent for 4 months? Pet goat for 6 weeks. You see, you're looking at this from the wrong perspective, Yogi, because if you kind of lock that goat outside during the day, that is going to keep the lawn fucking pristine.
Okay, another one for you. What is your most memorable moment you've had streaming?
Hitting the mullet goal because that basically got done in like basically a day almost. Hitting the mullets goal. The day I shaved the mullets on stream, that was another good one. The subathons themselves have been really, really good ones. So yeah, I would probably say those are probably some of the better ones in my opinion.
What do you think people will be nostalgic for in 500 years? Not the Big Bang Theory.
No. No. Probably the early stages of reusable rockets and stuff like a KFC. KFC's a good one. If we're talking about material things, I'd probably say... I don't know. Do you think Macca's will still be around in 500 years? I don't think they would be.
Oh yes. I mean, the food will still be around.
Yeah, the food would. Yeah, the food will outlive the company for sure.
They'll outlive the roaches.
But yeah, I would say probably because you need to understand the population is just growing constantly. So I would say anything that has to do with the free space and being able to walk around without touching like shoulders all day long and stuff like that. Thank you, Rakan, Stonachik, all the legends, 30, King Watch, Roshandle Jones, Casey. Much love to every single one of you. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. And I mean, look, my journey on this platform, I think, wouldn't be anywhere near as fruitful and beneficial as it has been without like any of you, right? Every single one of you has played a massive role. And I'm greatly eternally grateful to everything that you champions do. So thank you. Thank you for everything you superstars represent. And thank you for making this birthday that much more special, right? Mama didn't raise no bitch.